Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Kindly hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon as well so that you don't miss any of my videos. In this video, this would be a speed up video, and because I have already created some videos in real time, in this video we are gonna make a male character head. And as you can see, I took a sphere, dynamic sphere, and using the move tool, trying to get the overall shape of the head. And then you can see I'm masking here and creating that neck using the mask and the move tool. So trying to create the basic proportion of the head. It's kind of an egg on top of the face. The skull is kind of an egg, and here you can see I'm trying to get the side view silhouette right. Sometimes people kind of make the skull a little bit smaller than what it is. So trying to get that shape here, looking at the model from different angle. And so this basic proportion is very important at this stage. So don't, and here you can see I'm kind of flattening that side part because it's not a spear. The head is not a full spear, it's kind of a flattened from both side, and it's kind of an egg. You can, yes, it's kind of an egg here. Here I'm refining the jaw line using my move, clay build-up, and dance standard. And here I'm putting the sternocleidoid mastoids muscle, that indication that's kind of coming from the bottom of the ear to the pit of your neck, it going forward there. You're masking to create that ear. So you can see this basic proportion is very important. I'm trying to get that spear of the head, so like I'm drawing on a paper, and if you divide that spear you will get the eyebrow line. So that's a little tips. You can divide that spear and hit a horizontal line, you'll get the eyebrow line. Here I'm kind of indicating the zygomatic arch. It's kind of wearing a glass, a speck, that's below the eye there. So here the eyebrow and the nose line would be the ear. The ear would be placed exactly at the eyebrow and the nose, bottom of the nose line. So actually this video I was practicing. In this video I was not intending to make a video for YouTube, but I hit my record button. Let's to see if I come up with a good video, and I think I did. So I'm kind of narrating it on top of the video, and it took me about 2-3 hours. So I speed up it with 3 times settings. So now you can see I'm putting the muzzle of that kind of bulginess on the mouth, creating these lines, the nasal labia fold, and then the zygomatic cheekbone, you can say. So you can start with masking the ear and then reverse and pull that out, just to just to block it, and make sure you get this angle right. So when you sculpt, this is very important that you get the proportions right at the first place. Don't think about the details, just think about the proportion, where should be the eye, the nose, the mouth, the ear placement, all those placements, and then getting the overall shape of the head right before you jump into creating features of the let's say the eye, nose, detailing those. Don't go there too quickly. And here you can see that angle behind the ear. That skull ends exactly at the ear end, ear bottom. If you draw a line exactly at the ear bottom, you'll get that skull end line. And you can see still kind of I have not yet started any detailing, still defining the feature, the overall shape of the head. Okay, so here working on the skull. So as you can see I'm creating a ball kind of effect. It's like a ball, a spear is coming out of the skull. That's the little secret. So that's called frontal eminence. That's a very depend. And here you can see I'm creating wing kind of effect, and that is called supraorbital ridge. It's a brow ridge. It's a ridge on top of the brow I should say. When I say bro, it means brother, right? It should be brow. So here you can see I just extend that a little bit so that I can create the neck part easily. And here I'm going to put the that's I'm defining the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and you're putting that clavicle, and you can see that there's a little bit gap between two clavicle. Here putting the Adam's apple and then the muscle, and from behind here we can see that trapezius, and that trapezius attached to the clavicle. So that trapezius comes and attached with the clavicle end part. Okay, here I'm creating that that area between the jawline and the neck. So there is a area between the jawline and the neck. That's a kind of triangle shape. So you must get that, you must have that. And people sometimes miss that thing, so they do the jaw and then do the neck. So that's a big mistake. So always there is a shape, there is a area between the jawline and the neck. So here defining the ear, again just using the move brush, nothing else, just using the move brush, and with a dynamic sphere I am working on creating the overall shape, overall proportion, basic shape of the head, right? And here you can see the ear is exactly at the center of the overall head. You can see I used to do the back part of the ear very close to the ear, and that was actually wrong. So there's a good amount of space behind the ear towards the back side of the head. And here I'm trying to get the height of the ear right. Okay, again you can see still looking at the head from different angle, putting the opening of the mouth line, nose, and again the speck, the glass of the zygomatic arc. Here you can see there is a kind of dent, and that shape around the mouth is very important. And you can see the upper lip always stays forward than the lower lip. It's generic, it's the ideal situation, but sometimes you see the lower lip comes forward than the upper lip if the character is a little bit aged or old, something like that. The lower lips comes forward than the upper lip. And here you can see I'm putting the two highlight on the forehead and putting that front what is they call that, that's frontal eminence. That's the bulge out shape of the forehead. Okay, if you don't understand the forehead, then it would be very tricky, because you should understand what you are doing. So always learn anatomy, because anatomy will help you create a realistic character, more believable characters. Here you can see I'm looking at the head from top angle, and the front of the head should be narrower than the back. So now I don't have that shape proper, so I would correct that in the video. And here I'm trying to get the silhouette right, the nose, the cheek, the chin, everything. The more time you spend in this area, in this blocking stage, you will get a better model for sure. So don't start quickly the detailing part. Just avoid, stay in this stage, don't increase your polygons, get the silhouette right, get the proportion right, stay in this stage with this resolution as long as you can. And with this blocking, you can say if your model is a good model or a bad model. You don't need to do details in order to create a good models. So if you put a lot of details on a bad model, a bad proportion, a bad primary shapes model, then it is not going to look good. So those details are not going to make your model looking good. So this part is very important. I cannot stress it more. So you can see, if you are using GBrush 2020, you can look at the silhouette view there, right there, the white and the black view. You can look at that, and here I'm trying to get the overall shape of the skull. It should be narrow towards the front of the head and wider towards the back. Now I always did this mistake. I always kind of make that a parallel line or something. The back part should be wider than the front head. So overall it should look like a triangle from the top. Okay, that frontal eminence. And if you look at the skull from the front, the top part is kind of going to a point. It's not fully round. The top part of the forehead is kind of a pointed shape, and the top part of the skull is here on. If you draw a straight line from the ear, that part is just behind the ear. Okay, correcting that trapezius muscle width. Here you can see that dent between the trapezius and the sternocleidomastoid mastoid muscle, which comes from the ear, just backward ear, and here refining that area. I love to sculpt neck areas. I find it very easy. If you learn it, it's very easy, because there are just two main muscles, the trapezius and the sternocleidomastoid mastoideus muscle, and obviously the clavicle bone. This three part makes that neck looking good. And here, looking at the angle of the forehead, male tends to have a slight angle towards back, and while female tend to have a straight forehead. You're refining that wing, that ridge called brow ridge, or you can say supraorbital ridge, if you use anatomical terms. I love to use anatomical terms. Okay, it's like you want to become a friend with somebody for lifelong, and you don't learn his name or her name. You should always learn anatomical words, anatomical terms, because it's like we are making a new friend for lifelong, and this thing will help us lifelong. So always remember this anatomical terms. So here I increase that resolution a little bit, because I feel like, okay, I'm done with this stage. I can refine the face a little bit more now. So I increase the dynamics resolution, again using damp standard, refining the mouth line here using Alt. And if you draw a straight angle line from the nose with that shape, you'll find the lower lip shape. And here you can see that small ridge at the corner of the mouth called node, N-O-D-E. So that's a kind of puffiness or a little bit balls kind of shape. Here refining, trying to get the overall orbit of the eye, that the skull. And nasolabial fold. As you can notice, I'm not working on a single area. Sometimes I kind of, for teaching purpose, I work on a single area and kind of stay for a while to narrate them, to to tell the students or my viewers or my friends how they can define it, how they can block it. But usually when I do it like myself, like in this video, this is a video I didn't kind of intend to make it for YouTube, so I was just practicing. So I do this way actually. So just work on every area, so don't stick to a place. And you can see I'm kind of going around looking at the whole model as a single piece and trying to get this blocking part right. You can focus on a feature when you are detailing it, that's fine, but when you are blocking the head, when you are blocking the character, you you should kind of work as a whole, not stick to a place and work for a half an hour or 1 hour to refine that. Just move to a different place. By doing that, your eyes will get refreshed, because if you stay at a place, your eyes will not find any mistakes. That's very hard to find mistakes for your eyes. So if you move to a different place, let's say you are doing the nose, you move to the ear and then come back to the nose, you will see some mistakes, and you can correct them. And if you're putting that eye shape, like just imagine the eye is closed and we are putting that shape. If your eye is closed, you will see some shape here like this. And I can do this, and then I can open the mouth, open the eye. Okay, looking at the head from this bottom angle is very, very crucial. So here again, checking with the perspective off, on. Here I'm kind of bring append a cube, and I'm gonna put 5 divisions. So here you can go to initialize and put 5 there in the X area, and they can hit the cube. Put the 5 and then hit cube. You'll get a cube and with 5 divisions. So why I did this? I want to get the eye shape right. If you divide the whole width there, the face, into 5 sections, you will get one section, that's the eye width, one eye width. So you can see there are 5 sections in that cube. So I think my eye width is fine. Just move the corner inward a little bit. So this way you can know the eye width, how big the eye should be. So I'm going to put a little bit bigger volume there, and then so there is always one eye gap between 2 eyes. You need to remember that. So there is always one eye gap between the 2 eyes corner. So you shouldn't have big big gap there, or not too close, so it would look alien kind of thing then. I'll not make my every video like time lapse or speed. I'll make real time videos, but I guess I'll come up with some kind this kind of videos for intermediate user who have used ZBrush before and know my techniques. They can quickly see the model. This video is still kind of around 40-45 minutes, I guess, after speeding it off a little bit. So here I append a spear for the eyeball and positioning it. So I may come up with some speed up videos like this if I did that videos kind of at my practicing time. So this video is actually I'm practicing. I didn't intend to make this video for YouTube. But I thought, okay, let's hit the record button and see if I get a good video. Then why not? I can share with my friends and my guys, so they can learn, maybe learn from it. And here you can see that wing shape. It's like a bird is flying. You can see that wing and that frontal eminence. This shape are very important. That's a little bit too much. I may smooth that ladder, but you can see that. Okay, so here that line is, and looking at the leaf from the side angle, and as you can see, as you can notice, I'm slowly refining a little bit. I'm going towards the refinement stage, and again, I'm not in hurry. I'm still kind of looking at the whole model as a single shape and trying to see the overall proportion right. Because usually when I started my career, I started doing models, I was thinking if your model has lot of details, your model is very good. So that was the mindset of all beginners. They all think if your model has lot of details, lot of good skin details, lot of wrinkles, lot of good details, then your model is looking good and then they can impress. No, that's actually a wrong belief. The right belief is actually your model is going to look good or bad because of the big shapes, not because of the skin. Because if you I'm not going to put any skin detail on this model, but you can still see at the end the model looks cool, and you can see the model and say, okay, somebody who has experience done this model, because of only the primary shapes. Because I'm not going to detail it, I'm not gonna use alphas or skin details on this. So that's what I'm trying to convince you, that spend more time on this area. Yes, skin details, all those details are important to make your character look realistic, but this part is very, very important, and beginners don't spend a lot of time here. They kind of do their thing and then jump to the alpha and do their stuff there. So that's the interesting part. I know, I also like that part, but again, this part is crucial to make your, even make your any character. It may be stylized, it may be realistic, it may be a creature, animal, doesn't matter. The primary shapes, the proportions, these two things, remember my words, these two things are very important. And then comes the tertiary or the details, skin details. So yes, so here as you can see, I'm kind of looking at the model, and as you can notice, it's a little bit more defined than before. And here I'm trying to get that shape, that brow shape, right? And I know that shape is a little bit too much, I may need to smooth it. And that shape is prominent on male character than female has a very slight brow ridge. It's almost unnoticeable, but on male character that's a very noticeable thing, and that makes the face mature. The jaw and that orbital ridge makes the man mature. Put a little bit partition. The whole face has a little bit partition line actually. I noticed that very later in my career. So every creature, every animal has a kind of partition line at the center of the head. I don't know why, but that's there. And I mirror the eye using the subtle master mirror option and trying to get the eye shape. As you can see, now I'm at a stage, I'm looking at small shapes, small curves, and trying to get the eye shape right here. And the upper eyelid always overlap the lower eyelid. Still, I don't have a lot of polygons at this stage, but again, I'm gonna spend a lot of time to refine at this stage. So I'm not hurried. I'm not going to quickly change resolution to a higher level, because it would be very difficult with a lot of polygons to do these big shape changes. Here, refining the ear, trying to get that helix shape. I love to sculpt here. I believe it's the easiest part. Actually, it's the hardest part. It's a very difficult part, but I believe it's very easy to do actually when you know the forms, know the shape of the ear. By obviously practicing, it's actually very, very easy. It's fun to do. The ear is fun to do. Okay, so these shapes are the main shapes of the ear. I have created some videos of ear sculpting and nose sculpting, eye sculpting. You can check those out. I think you have seen those. My videos tends to, when I'm teaching, like not this video, when I'm teaching in real time, I take a little bit slow approach. I talk slowly. I kind of went through stuff a little bit slowly so that people can understand, so that my friends can understand those tips and tricks. So be patient with my videos kindly. I when I'm teaching, I can speed up, I can go in a speed manner. So I take time to teach, I take time to explain things. So that's why my videos may be kind of a little bit boring side, maybe for few guys, maybe. but um, but kind of have no keep be patient and see the videos till the end. You'll learn a lot of things and your sculpt will dramatically improved. Here you can see I'm looking at the leaf. Still the corners are not refined, and here you can see I turn off the symmetry and trying to see some asymmetrical details. So that's a very important aspect on realistic character. If you want to make your character look realistic, you need to put some asymmetrical details, asymmetrical shape changes. When I say asymmetrical, I'm talking about the face is not same as both side. Your lip is not same in both side of the face. Nobody has a fully symmetrical features. Even your eyes are different. You have a small, even I have a small eye. Maybe my left eye is a little bit smaller than my right eye. You cannot notice that if you uh, focus on it. You can see that people tends to have a little bit bend on the nose. One eye corner kind of moves up a little bit than the other side. So every features on your face has a little bit asymmetry, and if somebody has a very symmetrical face, that person is going to look very good. That's why on good looking model or film stars you can see some of the symmetry, but again nobody in the world has fully symmetrical face. So that's what I'm trying to say. So you need to put some asymmetrical. Now our model doesn't have any asymmetry. I'm going to that's something which I put at the end. So here I'm trying to get the lip shape. I'm not happy with the lip shape here, so I need to refine that, smooth it. I increase my resolution, by the way, and this is the third time I increase it, the second time I should say. And here you can see that two spherical shape on the lower lip, while you have three spherical shape on the upper lip, one at the center, two besides that, and at the lower lip you have just two spherical shape and one partition line to that lip. Smoothing everything a little bit. If you really want to improve your sculpt, your characters, then I can suggest two things. One is learning anatomy, and two is practicing it daily. So by no time you can improve your characters. You can sculpt to realistic characters. I'm not saying I'm a pro on this, but I'm still learning anatomy and practicing it, and I can see my sculpt is getting better and better day by day. So that's what I'm kind of noticing, and there's no other way. Some students ask me how they can improve their character sculpting, and it's easy. The answer is easy. You need to practice it, man. You need to practice it daily, and you need to learn anatomy. Anatomy is the key. There's nobody in the world, there's not a single artist who can really create good characters without learning anatomy. So every good character artist has spent a lot of time learning anatomy. And initially anatomy, actually when I started learning anatomy, I got scared of it. Actually it feels bored. I feel bored, and but now at this stage I kind of enjoy anatomy learning. So I don't want to learn softwares. I am kind of bored of it. I don't want to learn softwares anymore. That's a very boring part. But learning art is very interesting. Here you can see I'm putting that shape there on the nose. That's the cartilage shape there. You can search any image, anatomy of the nose image on Google, and you can see those. And there are two wrinkles you can see. I've just put alongside the eyes, refining that eyelid shape. So always learn anatomy, practice it, and your sculpt will look good, will look realistic. Putting that shape there, you can see that kind of piping kind of shape, tube like shape. And as you can see, I have changed my material to the matte cap 6 material, and here I'm using toy plastic to the eye. I just select the eyeball and change the material to toy plastic, and then hit the fill object inside the color menu there. And still looking at the chin. When you are sculpting, sometimes adding these materials helps you kind of helps you see a different lighting, different thing. Here you can see I'm putting that asymmetry I was talking earlier. Turn off the symmetry option by pressing X, and then kind of move one corner of the lip upward, then the other corner, and then you can see the lip look better, look more realistic than before. Smoothing that frontal eminence a little bit. Okay, smoothing everything a little bit. And here you can see I'm working on a ton of symmetry. I have turned off my symmetry and creating those wrinkles, because that's an area where you can see a lot of asymmetry. That area is never symmetrical, and I did that mistake before. I was doing that symmetrical, so that was a big mistake. So never do that thing. Actually, when you are working on the center of the head, anything on any feature, let's say the nose, eye, the lip, you need to put some asymmetry, because if you keep symmetry at the center of the head, then that's gonna be very noticeable to the audience, and they can find it, they can see it, and it's gonna look fake, it's gonna look 3D, which we don't want. By the way, we want our character to look realistic, not 3D. So that's the secret, that's the tips. Always trying to see asymmetry. If you look at some different images on people's face, you can see the asymmetry, how their face, how their lip is different on both sides, how their eyes is different on both sides. Okay, here the face start to look, I think, okay, start to look like a man, I guess. It doesn't look like an animal, it looks like a man, and I'm happy with that. Here I'm putting that masseter muscle. So there's a muscle at the jaw line which connects to the zygomatic, the cheekbone part. And here you can see, if your character is, again, when you are sculpting, you need to know your character age. If you are creating a middle-aged man or a young, if you middle-aged man have this kind of shape and the wrinkles, these forms defined a little bit. You can see these forms here. So that's the masseter muscle which at the jaw, and then this is the French cut, like French cut beard line. And actually one of my teacher in my college used to have French cut, like he was my HOD in my design department, and I just think about him at this stage. Okay, here I'm trying to look at the face from different angles, see that. You can hit the render option there, the BPR option, just to see how cool your model looks, to get your motivation to move forward. Sometimes you feel like, oh, it's too much, I need to stop here. So as you can see, I'm defining that shape between the jaw and the neck. There is the triangle shape here. You can see people tend to miss that shape. You should miss that shape. Okay, now I'm going to paint the eyeball so that it looks a little bit cool and I can impress you guys a little bit more. So here I'm gonna use maybe a green. No, it is a green. No, man, it's not gonna look good. Green, I think snakes or some aliens has those, so let's change it to brown. Okay, now you can see the material on the face has changed, because I didn't feel that on the face. I didn't feel the matte cap skin material on the face. So if you don't want to see like everything blacks, right, like this, everything is kind of black. So you need to fill the material. So as you can see, I just fill the material on the head. So change the material, and here I'm putting a light tone to that area of the iris, or the that eye color eye area. That area tends to bounce the eye. The light tends to go inside that iris part. So painting eye is very easy. You just put a round shape there, and then put another black round shape at the center, which is called pupil. What is that? Pupil. That black area, and then you put a dark tone side, and then light tone at that pupil bottom area. And here I'm putting a reddish tone to the corner of the eyes. And then you can put veins. I have created a tutorial for the eye sculpting that is real time, fully narrated. You can check that video. The video title is, I guess, eye sculpting in ZBrush with nalinkantajena. That's my weird name. And here you can see I just mask that area and then extract that under the subtool to create that simple model there, that simple shape. And that's there. I'm trying to create that tear dog shape. That's the shape at the corner of the eye, and that shape is like a sphere and then a cylinder kind of shape. Okay, so sometimes Dynamics kind of doesn't add divisions, so you need to just do something with the model. Let's draw a brush stroke and then drag it to refresh and create, as you can see. Let's define this area of the eye. Okay, as you can see, without eyebrow, obviously the character is gonna look like this, look like weird. We are going to sculpt eyebrows. So in this model, I'm not trying to create a super high realistic model. My main purpose is practicing these anatomically landmarks, the bony landmarks, the muscle, and the overall shape, practicing this stuff. And I can do realistic by adding skin details on top of it, but that's not the purpose of this video. So here you can see I mask that area and then using inflat brush to inflat that area. So that's an area which has a lot of fat, and that area tends to overlap the upper eyelid and kind of comes on top of the upper eyelid a bit. And in this area you can see that's kind of actually carved in shape. So when you add this detail, you can see suddenly your eyes look more realistic, more believable, because we can see that on realistic human beings or live model. Again, if you want to create realistic characters, if you want to become a good model, I'm just trying to making him laugh. If you want to create realistic good looking models, becoming a good character artist, you need to observe life. You need to observe people's face. Don't look at them on their face directly, otherwise they will feel bad, or they will think, oh, what you are doing, man, why you are looking at my face. But you can look at their face through images, through photographs, where they cannot see you, you can see them. So look at different people's face and see how they are different from each other. Because when you sculpt from your memory, I'm doing it from my memory, I'm not looking at any images. When you do this, you tend to do generic stuff. I mean, you have practiced ear, so you create an ear. You don't sculpt an ear for for a particular person. So that ear, that nose, that lip I have sculpted here, it's generic from my mind. But in real life, we have a lot of shapes. Every lip is different. My lip is different than your lip. My nose is different than your nose. Every people on the earth has different features. So we need to look at those things as well, how we can create different characters. Then we can create different proportion of the face, we can create different features, and then we'll end up creating different looking characters. So that's what I'm trying to say. Look at different face, look at how their nose is different from each other, how they live, and every feature, overall shape is different, and also practice those things. Okay, so looking at the model again, I may create another video with real time proper narration, proper teaching, but I think I'll do that maybe later. So here you can see a little bit fold if your character, a little bit wrinkles if your character is aged. Like my character is a little bit middle aged kind of character here. I'm not creating a teenage or very young guy. He is middle aged, maybe somewhere 40, something like that. So he has a little bit wrinkles, and okay, looking at the eyes from bottom angle, the overall eye shape, a very interesting shape actually. When I was sculpting this character, I don't know, I knew this guy, I have seen this guy somewhere, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm creating the Silver Stallone character, and sometimes I feel no, he's not Silver Stallone, he's somebody else, but I don't know. I created this head from my mind, but I feel like I have seen this guy somewhere. So rendering to see how cool my model is. I know you guys love to see real-time videos, and I'm sorry I made this video speed up a little bit because it took almost 3 hours to complete it. So I know you guys don't have that long patience. Maybe some of you guys have that patience to sit for 3 hours, but most of the guys, because I see when you are watching my videos, you kind of left after 3 5 10 minutes, and I feel very bad about that because I put a lot of hard works creating these videos for you, and some of you guys don't see it through the end till the end. I feel bad. Here you can see I'm painting the head. I put a little bit yellowish tone to the forehead and a little bit reddish tone to this eye and the nose line. So that's the color tone of the face, and putting a little bit bluish tone to the hair area, like the lower part of the jaw and the head, because he's bald. Um, so a little bit blue, it's not black, it's not gray, it's a little bit grayish blue. So our face has three main colors: yellowish. Your forehead is mostly have yellow tint, and then the eye, the nose, the ear part tends to have kind of reddish tone, and then the bottom of the face has kind of bluish, grayish bluish tone because of the hair. On male character I'm talking about here. On female again, uh, they can have normal skin at that area, because most of the female don't have beard and mustache. Some of the why I said most of the female, because I have seen some girls have little bit mustache and not beard, maybe a little bit hair on the mustache area. So that's why I said some of guys don't have. So here, change that material, fill that material again, putting that bluish, grayish bluish tone. Again, I'm not kind of painting and creating a very realistic skin here, just for fun, just to make this model presentable a little bit more. and here on the ear area we can put reddish stone. By the way, I'm making a foreign guy. He's not an Indian, I guess. He looks to me a foreign guy. I don't know. There are a lot of students. There are a lot of students out there. So he may be one of my student. So here you can see I changed the brush stroke to color spray and used an alpha, trying to create the spots on the face using a dark reddish tone with that setting with the standard brush, the spray and alpha. Putting a little bit dark to the eye area. He doesn't sleep properly at night, so he has some darkness to the lower part of the eye. Okay, so I guess I don't know if you like my model. I think I'm happy with it. Okay, so what else we can do? I'm trying to get a secondary light, but eventually I'm going to kind of turn off that. I'm kind of experimenting with double light, and I guess with this material it's not gonna work. If you have used basic material on the head, I guess you can use 2-3 lights, but on this skin materials I think it's not going to work. I'm not sure. I've never used that light with skin materials, so I think I'm happy with a single light source. Sometimes I kind of, if I want something, I kind of try to do my best to achieve that, and here I'm doing that again, but I know I'm gonna fail on that. So here when you render, you can see that kind of weird thing at the bottom of that image. That's because of the floor is turned on. You can turn off that. Here I'm trying to spread that shadow a little bit. So I was getting a sharp shadow, so I increase that. You can do that by going to the render BPR shadow setting and increase the shadow distance, I guess. I create some tutorial, guys. I have created some premium tutorial courses. If you want to create fully character models, and no, I have some popular courses. One of my popular courses is realistic character modeling. If you want to check that out, you can check that out. I put a link in the description. You can find those links to my premium courses. They are very cheap actually. In Indian rupees they are 700-800 rupees, and I do it full time, so that's from that I get my bread and butter. So here you can see I'm creating the eyebrow, because without eyebrow nobody is going to look good. I don't know why, but that little eyebrow is very crucial to our beauty. So here you can see I put a little bit eyebrow there. I saw this model to my wife, and she said, "Are you creating a transgender or high kind of character? High." So I said, "No, he is just a foreign guy. He has pink lips. What can I do?" No, she said, "No. I was just no trying to pull your leg. He looks cool." So here I'm trying to create some kind of making some mustache and beard. This is the French cut I was talking about. One of my teacher had that, and so that's it. I'm saving this model. I hope you have maybe learned something. The process, I guess you have see the process of the head. So I'll come up with a new video Till then, take care and make sure you subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so that you don't get miss anything. Bye.